Director of the Africa Program at Chatham House. He joins us now from London. Good to have you on the program with us. 3.5 years of violence, but we are seeing a dramatic increase in the violence in Mozambique. What's going on?
Yeah, there is an increase in the violence. It is a regional problem. Raul's report was correct, although I'd say that it was already regional. There's a real strong link with Tanzania, for example, which is just to the north of Cabo Delgado province. So it's interlinked. And the Mozambican government is overstretched. So as Raul reported, there's been private military contractors involved. They're still involved, in fact. But what's important today is that the Sadc summit that you were talking about has concluded with a communique which endorses the recommendation of the report of the chairperson of the Organ on Politics, Defence and Security and Cooperation, and that mandates a Sadc standby force mission to be deployed in Mozambique. What we don't have is any details. How many people are going to be involved, what types of units are going to be involved, what has the Mozambican government accepted. But it is a step further in the direction of the region, through its standby force, is going to deploy some sort of military to support the Mozambican government.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that communique from the Sadc summit. I mean, realistically, what can we expect as far as regional cooperation, and what does need to happen as far as regional cooperation to tackle this problem?
This is a regional problem, and it really does require regional cooperation, particularly with Tanzania. Many of the foreign fighters that are involved in this conflict in Cabo Delgado are Tanzanian. And so the solutions lie very much inside Mozambique, the developmental ones that some of the commentators in your piece have talked about. But it also requires intelligence sharing and better cooperation between Tanzania to the north and the Mozambican government, as well as some other support from other Sadc members, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi, for example.
Yeah, and what does this continued violence in Mozambique and surrounding areas mean for the stability of the region as a whole? I mean, could this have a ripple effect throughout the rest of the continent?
Well, no, I don't think it can have a ripple effect across the rest of the continent. There is a connection between the conflict in Cabo Delgado, the northern province of Mozambique, with Eastern Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Some Mozambicans have been there for training. There is probably a link up to Puntland in Somalia, but most of this is about Tanzania. And I myself don't think that this will spread too much southwards, although there is a danger of this insurgency becoming a lightning rod for aspiring jihadists. And that, of course, is a worry, including for countries like South Africa. There is a problem in, for example, KwaZulu-Natal of radicalization there in certain communities. And the South African government is very fearful that some of those individuals might find themselves up in Cabo Delgado getting military training with the insurgents.
What kind of humanitarian crisis are we looking at as tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have to flee their homes because of this increased violence? Is there somewhere they can go? Is there infrastructure in place to take care of them? And what sort of long-term implications come from that?
That's such an important question. I'm really glad you asked it, because it's a terrible humanitarian situation. Over the last few months, it's gone up to about 800,000 internally displaced peoples in Cabo Delgado. The point is that everybody is fleeing these insurgents. The majority reason for people to get out of the districts where the insurgency is taking place is people want to get out of there. And then there is again a problem with cooperation with Tanzania. Tanzania is repatriating the refugees that have gone across the Ruvuma River, thousands and thousands of them, and UNHCR has complained about this. So again, it goes back to the point we were discussing already, which is we need regional cooperation here.
All right, we'll leave it there. Alex Vines, thank you.